G'day ladies and gents. Today we're going to have a first look at the AMX-40, the top MBT for the French. This has been a long time coming. The French have definitely needed something that is more competitive than the Brennus, definitely needed something with a stabilizer, and I feel like this is the right step. Here we have a battle rating 9.3. It's not 9.7 like the 2A4 and the Type 90 in the Abrams. It's 9.3. So you can face Leopard A1A1s in normal matchmaking. It's got a really, really good gun. But unfortunately, that's about it when it comes to this tank. Everything else seems to be mediocre or poor. That doesn't mean that it's not a good tank. It's certainly very nice to play when you aren't getting shot at, and when your team is decent. Unfortunately, I haven't had that luxury lately with the X and 1 spam. But when you get enemies that are focused on other allies, your run is actually quite easy. Like you can rack up some kills, which is always beautiful. Unfortunately, I haven't got many of those games, and most of those games have been filled with XM1 teams. Even up till now, and people still haven't figured out that the Leopard 2s are very fast, and they haven't learnt to anticipate early pushes, and most of the games, they just get taken out in the first 5 minutes, and I'm left the only one standing because I'm one of the few on the team that knows what the Leopard 2K is actually capable of. And for those of you who haven't already watched, there's my Leopard 2K video, which is from the previous patch, and there is also the XM1 video that I made. I have to make another video actually clarifying what I meant in that video, but regardless, here we have the AMX-40, and that's what we're going to discuss today. The tank itself has somewhat decent mobility. It's nothing terribly special. A Leopard 2... Type 90 Abrams even will beat them out in a straight line. But that doesn't mean that you can't still flank. You just got to be a bit more careful. You got to check more corners, check more ridges for enemies. And you never know, you might get a couple of them pushing where they think they can push, and then they run into that beautiful gun, which is about the best thing of the tank. It's got 550 millimeters of pen with the APFS DS shell and 650 with the HEATFS. So that's not too bad. That's pretty nice. You still need to hit a major component with the APFS DS, and I've never used the HEATFS except where I run out of APFS DS. I do often find myself running out of ammunition in the AMX-40. I normally take about 20 shells, but the rate of fire is actually decent enough to get rid of those 20 shells quite quickly. So sometimes you may have to take 25 or even 30 shells, and that will fill up the ammo rack underneath your driver. And so you do have a tendency to have more critical components where you can get taken out in a single shot. You don't only have the ready rack behind the turret, but you also have the one on the floor and then the one in the front of the driver's area. So you can get taken out by enemy tanks quite easily, especially with your paper-thin armor. You can actually get killed by what was it? I believe I tested a French tank. It might have been the AMX-50 or the Lorraine 40T. And I found that you could pen the AMX-40 up to something like 1,500 meters away quite reliably. That's pretty insane. This tank has bugger all armor. And I literally mean bugger all armor. I would assume that you could probably strafe it with a plane with maybe 50 cals. I don't actually know the top armor. I just know that that's the front. It's weak. It's very weak armor. You could probably, don't quote me, but you might be able to use HEATFS on that thing. And so Leopard 2Ks will not have a problem at all. Not only that, but you can also use your 20 mil, which in the recording that Leo 2K was doing, and he actually, I believe, set me on fire. So Yeah. On the flip side, though, you can use your 20mm against the leopards. And in this clip here, I'll show you what I mean. I'm having a crap game, an absolutely terrible game in this match. The Leopard 2s have just overrun everything. And I was trying to play aggressively. My team got swamped by the leopards, and there's just nothing I could do. There's just nothing I could have done. I take out that Leopard 2K, and I see a Leopard 2A4. I go for the side shot, go for the ammo rack, but ping is not on my side, and I don't take him out in a single shot, and then he cannon breaches me. So I just spray him down with the machine guns and get the kill. How would you play this tank? I would personally recommend that you play it as a support vehicle. It is not a main frontline tank. It has a good gun, it has somewhat decent mobility, and it has a decent reload. I would personally recommend that you use this tank as a flanking support tank, something a bit like the MBT-70 in the current meta. It has really, really good potential in that role because of the penetration on the gun, the muzzle velocity, the reload, and the fact that it, despite having bugger all armor, you can actually take a few shots, which you'll see in this clip here. I think 3 or 4 shots from Leopard 2s, which I think is quite impressive, to be honest, considering that it can be penned by a Lorraine 40T up to 500 meters away without a problem. There's that first shot, 3 crew, turret ring, and I believe that might be the transmission. But regardless, the fact that I took that shot in the first place and didn't just explode like I would in, say, a Chieftain, I think that deserves some sort of credit. It's a really, really nice tank for that. And if you're someone like me who likes either pushing the front line or support roles, you'll find that the AMX-40 is a really, really good support tank. It's not that front line like the Leopard, and it's not that camper like the Challenger 1 unfortunately has to be, which makes me sad, to be honest. But regardless, you can still do some work in this thing, and it's really, really nice. It's got that 20mm as well, so you can deal effectively with SPAA and aircraft even. I have shot down plenty of aircraft with that 20mm. Whether it be in the AMX-30, whether it be in the AMX-30 Brennus, or this thing. In the few games that I've played them, maybe 50 games total, I've shot down at least 3 or 4 airplanes. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good. You can see with the AMX-40 on screen here that I'm able to disengage and re-engage, which is a feature that I spoke about in my Leopard 2 video, which was back from patch 1.77. If you guys want to have a look at that, I'll see what I can do to put a card up or something like that for you guys to check out. Regardless, once you get that gun on target, it's beautiful. It's just nice. It does the job. You do have to aim a little bit though, and you have to hit the right components. But once you do that, you can get quite nice kills. Now, here I went for the ammo rack on the Leopard 2A4, but completely forgot that they had the ready rack system, and yeah. Leopard 2s are incredibly durable. I didn't realize just how durable that Leopard 2 could potentially be. He's taking almost as many shots as me. Ah, man. I go for that Horton, but I don't have my 20mm up, which might be a bug. That's something I'm not sure about. I would assume that the 20mm is controlled by the gunner, or at very least maybe the commander, but yeah, it seems that when you're down to 2 crew, you don't get to use your 20 mil, and when you're down to 3 crew, it's the same story. Because later on in this battle, I replenished that crew member and tested it out. Maybe it's a bug, I don't know. But for the most part, if you're not getting shot at, this tank is actually quite fun. I would actually recommend using it. It's a decent amount of fun. You just can't push like a Leopard 2. You gotta wait for them to come towards you. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Check out all my links in the description. Just check out the description, comments, anything that I might add. And I'll catch you next time.